In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic that's really close to my heart: how to overcome learning limiting beliefs, an easy 5-step guide. I want you to imagine you're running a marathon, but at the same time carrying this super heavy backpack that would probably slow you down, make you feel more tired, and eventually prevent you from even reaching your goal of finishing your marathon. The same applies when we carry limiting beliefs. These pesky thoughts weigh us down and make the journey to knowledge harder and longer than it needs to be. But don't fret, this guide will help you lighten your own load and eventually overcome any and all learning limiting beliefs. The only thing standing between you and your learning potential, I can assure you, is your mindset. So let's work on it. What are learning limiting beliefs? So they're the thoughts and assumptions that hinder your ability to learn effectively. If you want to compare them to villains, that's what I've done. I think the analogy works. So they are villains in your mind, masquerading as truth and holding you back from unlocking your full learning potential. What are some common learning limiting beliefs? Well, I'm just not good at maths, too old to learn new languages, can't do this, I'm not good enough. And I'm sure you could come up with more examples. Where do these beliefs come from? You might say it's obvious, but it could be a past negative experience that you've had. For example, if you have tried to learn a new language and it was a difficult one and you just didn't have an encouraging teacher, you probably felt discouraged. Same with other things that you've attempted and just found very challenging, right? So that will add up to maybe a sum of negative experience preventing you from attempting something similar in the present and future. It could also be societal norms, something that's expected of you and you just don't feel like you can fulfill that expectation, and that turns into something negative, or other comments that people have made that have stuck, unfortunately. The problem is these false beliefs only serve to limit you. Why should you even know about them though? I'm sure you know the story of the Invisible Man, and I'm not talking about the many versions in cinema based on the story, but the novel, so the book where it all started, written by H.G. Wells, the father of science fiction. The question is, can anyone defeat a villain they can't even see? So knowing about learning limiting beliefs is crucial because they act as invisible barriers to your progress, creating self-doubt and stifling creativity. Meaning that the first step to overcoming them is to understand them and acknowledge their presence in your mind. Which brings me to my step-by-step guide to overcoming learning limiting beliefs. Going back to this comparison of such a belief and a villain, it's easier to defeat a villain when you've got someone by your side. Think of the Avengers, right? They're not called the Avenger singular because they're a group of people that fight evil together, right? Same with you. You don't have to fight the villain of self-doubt alone. I'm here to help you, and it's not just what I'm talking about here, but my actual written post on this, which you can check out in the video description below, and you can come back to it again and again to refresh your knowledge of the steps involved. So the idea is to try and unravel the narrative of negative beliefs and then replace that narrative with a script where the villain is obliterated so that you can learn joyfully. Here are my tried and tested recommended steps, and I've tried these on myself as well. Step 1, identifying limiting beliefs. This is the aha moment where you're brave enough to face some uncomfortable truths. So start by observing your thoughts and language when you're learning. Do you notice any recurring negative thoughts? Do you hear yourself saying, I can't, I'm always, I'll never? Then also ask yourself, do I believe I'm bad at learning? Am I afraid of making mistakes or failing? Do I think other people are naturally good at science, languages, etc., and I'm not? These are clues pointing towards limiting beliefs. What next? Acknowledge them without judgment. I can't emphasize this bit enough. You don't need to be hard on yourself, even more hard on yourself at this stage or any stage, because we all have these beliefs. We're all dealing with them, and that's okay. Step 2, understanding the impact. I want you now to examine these beliefs a little closer and ponder deeper questions. How do these beliefs affect your learning? Do they make you avoid particular subjects or activities? Do they reduce your confidence or enjoyment in learning? Once you become aware of the havoc they wreak, you'll know you need to confront them and challenge them. So this is obviously step 3, challenging and then reframing limiting beliefs. Think of a showdown like in movies. How do you challenge your beliefs? Well, again, questions help. Questions such as, is this really true? Is it always true? What evidence do I have for this belief? And then, what evidence do I have against it? Let me give you an example. Say one of your limiting beliefs is, I can't focus for very long. And now let's take the 4 questions and answer them so you see how reframing is done. First question, is this really true? Well, the answer could be more often than not yes, fair enough. Question 2, is it always true? If your answer is, well, I have noticed that I lose focus faster when I'm tired or hungry, then it means physiological reasons prevent you from focusing for longer. Question 3, what evidence do I have for this belief? The answer could be, I can't focus for more than 20 minutes on any given task, but most of my peers are able to focus for 40 minutes or even 1 hour without stopping. So the evidence you have is actually based on comparison with others, which isn't fair. This isn't about yourself, it's about others. Question 4, what evidence do I have against this? The answer could be, if I study in the morning, right after having breakfast, as opposed to the afternoon, I can focus for longer. So you see, the solution has already presented itself, and you've come up with it just by asking a few basic questions. You might find that your thoughts on your own learning capabilities are far from absolute truths, or that you're attaching made-up meanings to events and situations that are quite neutral, and you're just blaming yourself for nothing, which I really don't want you to do. Remember to reframe whatever you can in a more positive and empowering way. For instance, I'm not good at maths can become, maths is a skill and I can improve with practice. Or I'm bad at learning can be turned into, I haven't found the right learning strategy yet. And I'll come back to the power of yet in a moment. Step 4, you need to practice new learning beliefs. This isn't a one-time affair, it is a practice, and you need this practice to defeat an enemy as relentless as a recurrent limiting belief. So what do I recommend? You might not find this advice, earth-shattering, but it does work. So the first technique is mindfulness, and this means having present moment awareness. Why does this matter? Because it's a very effective way of dismantling the negative thought patterns that can hinder personal growth. This involves consciously observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. You see how I keep coming back to this? Don't judge yourself, don't blame yourself. It doesn't work if you do. So if you're struggling with the limiting belief of I'm not smart enough, you should notice when the thought arises, then acknowledge it without self-criticism, and then gently redirect the focus to the current task at hand, whether it's a maths assignment or a university paper that you need to write or anything else. This should make the negative state go away. Next we have meditation. Meditation is about training the mind to achieve mental clarity, focus, and relaxation, which is the perfect state for study. There are many techniques available, and they usually involve focused attention and controlled breathing. So in the video description below, I'm going to include one example, a video you can use, a 5-minute meditation before you study. And if you do try it, please let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Maybe you've found something better, and I'd be very eager to try that out myself, or just tell me your experience with the technique. We then have positive affirmations. And I know they've become a sort of cliche, but they are a powerful tool for overcoming limiting beliefs. So we're talking about positive statements about your learning abilities and potential. I've designed a slide for you to use, which is available in my blog post on the same topic. So you can use it for free. You can maybe print it out and put it somewhere in your home or on a mirror where you look at often, so that it helps you learn from a psychological perspective. So to give you a few examples, statements you can try out. I am capable of learning anything I set my mind to. Every challenge I face is an opportunity to grow. Mistakes are natural and they help me get better. My mind is open to new ideas. I'm focused and determined. These are just 5 of 10. But as I said, if you check out my blog post, you will see all 10. Step 5, and the final one, you need to maintain progress and deal with setbacks. Now, if you think of movies, which I love, you should be able to remember those all is lost moments where the hero appears to have been dealt a deadly blow, or there seems to be no hope for the protagonist, right? No way out for the good guys. That is clearly a setback, and this is what a setback of your own might feel like on your learning journey, especially if you're learning something scary for you. Let's say you scored fewer points than you thought you would in a language test, or you're just taking longer than expected to understand a scientific concept. Remember, it's not the end of the world, or the movie, your movie, yes? Just like film heroes, you can make a comeback. You can choose to get back up and keep moving forward. You should celebrate small wins, because no matter how small they are still wins. To recap, key considerations for overcoming learning limiting beliefs. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. You need to be patient and perseverant. It's also a personal journey, so yes, you can benefit from help, as I've already said, but no one can do this for you. So no one should basically take your backpack off your back and carry it for you. They can maybe help you carry it or carry it for a while, but not for the entire journey, because it's just not the way it works, and it's not fair either, right? So you need to be self-aware, and also you need to love yourself while you undertake this journey. Change takes time as well, so there's nothing wrong with asking for help when you need it over time, if you are dealing with a setback and are taking longer to make the progress that you expected. Also, try and surround yourself with positive study influences. I think this is key, as are stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to have fun, yes, because that contributes to a relaxed state, and the relaxed state is always preferred to a stressed one when learning. This applies to anyone, whatever age they are. What about additional resources? So if you want to add another weapon to your arsenal, there should be the power of yet or not yet, which I've already mentioned. How can this power be used practically? Well, by replacing any "I don't know how to do this" statement with "I don't know how to do this yet." If you read my About Me page on my blog, you'll see that there are still many things I can't do. I can't drive, I can't sew, I'm not able to name a lot of bands or famous song names for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean I'll be forever stuck in the limbo of not knowing these things. I'm actually working on 2 things at the moment. And I keep telling myself that I can't do them yet, but I am in the process of learning them. See how easy it is? You can also check out a TED Talk on this topic. So it's made by Carol Dweck, the educator that came up with this idea of yet or not yet. It's a very enlightening video, and I will link it below for you to check out, because we're talking about an expert who's not only come up with the concept but also tested it in many schools over many years, so she knows what she's talking about. If you want more, check out my adult learning style video and also post. I also have study tips for college, but they're not just for university students, they're for everyone who wants to study effectively. And I'll be turning that into a YouTube video soon as well. For now it's just a post. And then one post that again is really close to my heart, and YouTube video as well, how to break the cycle of performance anxiety. I'll link that below as well, because this will help you with pre-performance jitters. Remember, in conclusion, that you have the power to shape your beliefs, and these beliefs in turn shape your learning journey. When you say, I can do this rather than I can't do this, I deserve success rather than I don't deserve success, it's like taking off that heavy backpack that I was talking about at the beginning before you start running. So you'll feel lighter, quicker, and more capable. You'll also be able to defeat the villain of misperceived failure. So please, please choose to believe in yourself. You've got this. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.